Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing a way that can increase your profit margins in your retail or online arbitrage business. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So the method that we're going to be using to increase your profit margins is going to be figuring out ways that you don't have to pay the sales tax on your products. Depending on the laws for your state, technically you shouldn't have to be paying any kind of sales tax on the products that you're buying because they're for resale. Tax should be charged towards the end consumer. Again, this laws may vary per your state, and talk to your CPA for the exact guidelines. I'm just going over the general idea. But a lot of times, even though the law may say that you don't have to, retailers are still going to charge you that tax because places like Target, for example, that aren't very reseller friendly, they're not going to take your tax exemption certificate. So you need to figure out ways that you can get around paying that tax. And there's two main methods that you can use. Number one is just get registered with your state and give the supplier your tax exemption certificate. This is going to vary on how you need to do it per your state, so talk to a CPA or people who are experienced in your state. But in my experience in Illinois, it was pretty simple. I just registered for sales tax. And then what I did was I got the sales tax registration, fill out form CRT 61. I give those two things to all my suppliers. And if they accept tax exemption, I can now purchase from them tax-free. This is really good to do at Walmart because they'll just give you a little card, and then any Walmart you go to, you can now buy it tax-free. Depending on where you're at, this can save from 4 to 10% or maybe even more on all of your merchandise, which is really going to have a big impact on your bottom line. We always want to be focusing on the bottom line and increasing our profitability as much as we possibly can. Depending on your business model, you might be wanting to do fast turnover or low margins, or maybe you have a slower sell-through rate, but you have higher profit margins. Look at that and what your business model is going to be to determine how important your bottom line percentage is. But at the end of the day, we all want to build a more profitable business. So this is just one thing that we can focus on in order to do that. Now, if you can't get tax exemption from a certain retailer, maybe you don't want to go through the process of just doing that for the suppliers that do allow a tax exemption. There's another way to avoid paying the sales tax, and that is by utilizing a prep center in a tax-free state. A prep center, if you're not sure what that is, I will link a video up here. Basically what a prep center is, you buy your inventory via online arbitrage or maybe even wholesale, but we're going to talk about OA since that's where you would be paying this tax. Is you're going to buy your inventory online arbitrage, send it to the prep center in the tax-free state, and what they're going to do is they're going to receive the inventory, list it, prep it, and ship it out for you all on your behalf directly to the Amazon FBA warehouse. The benefit of doing this in a tax-free state is that sales tax is charged based on where the items are shipped to, not where they're bought from. So if you're shipping to a tax-free state, then you're saving that amount of money on your taxes. So let's say I'm from Illinois, but right now I just set up a prep center in Delaware. I'm saving 6.25% on all of my inventory now. That's going to have a really, really big impact on my bottom line. In my case, I set up the prep center myself, so I'm not going to have those prep center fees. It's just what I'm paying my employees is going to be the only thing that kind of negates the tax savings. But what you're going to have to look at is the fee that the prep center is charging you. A pretty common one for a tax-free state is going to be $1.75. Some are going to be a little bit higher. I've seen as high as $2.25, and some are going to be a little bit lower, but generally it's $1.75. So you need to do the analysis as if the cost of goods for your item is going to be saving you more than that $1.75 is costing you, and if it's going to be more advantageous to do your own prep in-house. But almost all the time, depending on your situation, but usually it's going to be more advantageous to go ahead and send it to a tax-free state, because you don't have to pay for supplies, you don't have to pay for labor, you don't have to pay for warehouse, and the big one, you don't have to pay the sales tax. All those little things combined, it's going to add up to probably more than $1.75. So run your numbers, but getting around paying the sales tax for going to a sales tax-free state, sending to a prep center is really going to have a big impact on your bottom line. So in summary, there are two things you can do to not have to pay sales tax on your online arbitrage and retail arbitrage purchases. Number one is just get exemption. File the paperwork with your state, go to the suppliers and see if they're going to accept it. Ask around in communities to see, because if you ask that from Target, you're probably going to get banned, for example. So ask which retailers are going to be reseller friendly. Submit the paperwork if you can. Otherwise, ship to a tax-free prep center. That's going to have a big impact on your bottom line. Hope you got value out of this video, and we'll see you on the next one.